Australia, the lucky country. But in 2026, surviving here costs nearly $7,000 a month for a family. This isn't about luxury anymore. This is about staying afloat. Australia was once called the lucky country. But in 2026, luck isn't enough. Rent is consuming 30 to 50% of income. Groceries keep climbing. Energy bills feel unpredictable. For many families, survival now costs nearly $7,000 a month. But beneath the pressure, something powerful is happening. Australians aren't just cutting back. They're getting smarter. They're hacking rent, auditing subscriptions, growing food, switching to home brands, walking instead of driving, paying themselves first. This isn't about being cheap. It's about being strategic. It's about turning discipline into freedom. The frugal revolution isn't loud, but it's growing. Australia, the lucky country, a land of sun, surf, and as of February 2026, some of the highest cost of living pressures in the developed world. While the world watches the tech giants on Wall Street stumble, Australians are facing a different kind of scare trade. It's the daily audit of the bank account. According to the latest data from early 2026, the cost of essentials housing, utilities, and groceries has continued to climb by 1.5% in just the last quarter. For the average family of four, the baseline for survival has shifted to nearly $7,000 a month. For a single adult, you're looking at $2,900 just to keep the lights on and a roof over your head. But there is a movement rising beneath the surface. It's not just about saving pennies. It's a total reimagining of what it means to live well in Australia. This is the frugal revolution. Today, we aren't just talking about skipping a $5 latte. We are talking about the strategic, high-stakes art of frugal living in Australia. The 30% rule and creative living. Narration. The biggest budget killer in Australia isn't the avocado toast, it's the rent. In 2026, major cities like Sydney, Brisbane, and Perth have seen rental supply tighten to historic lows. Rent now consumes 30% to 50% of the average household income. The frugal strategy. The 2026 frugal elite aren't just paying rent. They are hacking it. The rise of the professional share house. It's no longer just for students. We see doctors, engineers, and creatives moving back into high-end co-living spaces to split the $1,000 a week utility and rent burden. Regional arbitrage. With NBN upgrades and the permanent shift to hybrid work, thousands are fleeing the CBD for regional hubs like Geelong, Newcastle, or the Sunshine Coast hinterland trading a $700 a week. Studio in Surrey Hills for a 3-bedroom house at the same price. Commonwealth rent assistance. In February 2026, the federal government increased rent assistance again. The frugal move. Knowing exactly where your income thresholds lie and ensuring every subsidy is claimed. Strategic shopping and the $2,000 saving hack. Narration. Australians' second biggest financial headache. The checkout counter. Grocery prices in 2026 remain a volatile battlefield. But the frugal Australian is fighting back with data. The $2,000 strategy. Recent estimates show that the average household can save over $2,000 a year simply by switching 50% of their shop to generic or home brand labels. Unit pricing. The frugal shopper ignores the sale tag and looks the price per 100 grams in 26. Many specials are actually shrinkflation in disguise. The Shop Your Pantry movement. Before the weekly shop, the disciplined Aussie audits their own shelves. We throw away nearly 20% of the food we buy. Frugality in 2026 isn't about buying more. It's about wasting zero. The Aldi, Lidl, Market circuit. The big two are no longer the default. Frugal living means hitting the local markets at 4 p.m. on a Sunday for the everything must go produce prices. Utility arbitrage and the 1 degree rule. Narration. Electricity and gas bills in 2026 are described as volatile, while the government has introduced $150 rebates. The real savings come from internal discipline. The strategy. The 1 degree rule. Adjusting the thermostat by just 1 degree in an Australian summer or winter can cut your bill by 10%. Draft proofing. The frugal Australian is the master of the door snake. Sealing gaps in windows and doors is the cheapest way to insulate your budget. Appliance auditing. In 2026, we are seeing the death of the second fridge. Old appliances are energy vampires. Replacing an old beer fridge with a modern, energy-efficient model often pays for itself in 6 months of electricity savings. Car-free days and maintenance discipline. Narration. The Australian dream once included a 4WD in every driveway. In 2026, that dream is a debt trap. Between rego, insurance, and fuel, a car is a hole in your pocket that never fills. The frugal strategy. The 2-mile rule. If the destination is under 2 miles, about 3.2 kilometers. The frugal Aussie walks or cycles. It's free transport and a gym membership combined. Public transport optimization. With fare caps and student concession increases in 2026. The train is the new status symbol of the wise. Preventative maintenance. If you must drive, frugality means changing your oil on time. A $150 service prevents a $5,000 engine failure. In 2026, making do and mending applies to the car as much as the clothes. Community, connection, and cheap thrills. Narration. The hardest part of frugal living in Australia is the social pressure. We are a culture of shouts at the pub and expensive weekend brunches. But frugal living in 2026 isn't about being a hermit. It's about conscious consumption. The strategy. The picnic revolution. Why pay $30 for a cafe breakfast when you can have a $5 artisan loaf and the best view in the world at a local park? Secret Santa and group caps for holidays and birthdays. The frugal community has moved to Secret Santa models to reduce the gift-giving burden. Free TAFE and skills exchange. 2026 has seen a surge in free TAFE enrollments. People are learning to fix their own sinks, cut their own hair, and grow their own herbs. This isn't just saving money. It's building individual sovereignty. Automation and the emergency buffer. Narration. Frugality is a defensive play, but savings is the offense. In 2026, the wellness trend has been replaced by the wealth trend. Australians are ditching crystals for compound interest. The strategy. Automation. The frugal Aussie pays themselves first. 5% to 10% of every paycheck goes into a high-interest savings account, HISA, before the first bill is paid. The $2,000 emergency buffer. 2026 has taught us that life is unpredictable. Having $2,000 in a no-touch account is the ultimate mental health tool. Salary packaging. For professionals, salary sacrificing for tech or cars is the only way to make the 2026 tax brackets work in your favor. It's about using the system to protect your labor. Narration. As we look at the data from February 23rd, 2026, it's clear the lucky country is still lucky, but it requires a new kind of intelligence to navigate. Frugal living in Australia isn't about poverty. It's about power. It's the power to say no to overpriced hype and yes to long-term freedom. Whether it's auditing your Colesworth receipt, hacking your rent, or learning a new skill at TFE, every frugal choice is a brick in the wall of your financial security. The money might be moving out of tech on Wall Street, but in the suburbs of Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane, the money is moving into the pockets of those who are disciplined, resourceful, and ready. Final thought. Australia is still the land of plenty, but in 2026, it belongs to the frugal. Narration. In 2026, the silent drain on Australian bank accounts isn't just rent or groceries. It's the invisible drip of subscriptions, streaming platforms, fitness apps, cloud storage, free trials that quietly turn permanent. The modern frugal strategist conducts a digital audit. Australians now spend an average of hundreds per month on recurring digital services. The frugal revolution asks a simple question: does this subscription truly add value? Many are cutting from 5 streaming services down to 1, rotating subscriptions month to month instead of paying year-round. It's not deprivation. It's intentional access, the second front of the digital shift. Monetization. Side hustles in 2026 are no longer chaotic gig economy scrambling. They're strategic micro-enterprises. Professionals are leveraging skills after hours, consulting online, tutoring via video platforms, selling digital templates, or renting out underused assets. The frugal mindset isn't just about cutting expenses. It's about increasing optionality. A spare room becomes short-term income. A camera becomes freelance work. Even unused driveway space in dense suburbs becomes passive revenue. The game has changed. The Australian household is now a mini balance sheet. Smart technology also plays a role. Energy monitoring plugs, budgeting apps, and automated bill comparison tools have become everyday weapons in the cost of living battle. The frugal household tracks spending not with fear, but with clarity. Data replaces guesswork. Narration. For decades, the Australian identity has been tied to lifestyle signals. The coastal holiday, the renovated kitchen, the upgraded ute, the Friday night shout. But 2026 has forced a deeper question. What is enough? The frugal revolution is not aesthetic minimalism for Instagram. It is psychological resilience. It is detaching self-worth from consumption. In suburbs across the country, something subtle is happening. Status is shifting. The impressive person is no longer the one with the newest SUV, it's the one without payments. The flex is liquidity. The luxury is time. Australians are rediscovering older cultural instincts: practicality, self-reliance, community reciprocity, borrowing tools instead of buying them, repairing instead of replacing, hosting potluck dinners instead of restaurant splurges. This is not regression. It is adaptation. Narration. Australia's climate has always shaped its people. In 2026, it is shaping frugality too. Rooftop solar adoption continues to rise. Rainwater tanks are returning. Backyard vegetable patches are no longer hobbies. They are hedges against grocery inflation. Even apartment dwellers are growing herbs on balconies. The frugal household views sustainability not as ideology, but as insulation against volatility. Every kilowatt generated, every tomato grown, every repaired appliance reduces exposure to external price shocks. The backyard becomes a microeconomy. Compost reduces waste. Chickens reduce egg bills. Native landscaping reduces water costs. The suburban home transforms from consumption hub to production unit. Narration. Frugal living in Australia in 2026 is not loud. It does not trend on social feeds. It does not come with sponsorships. It is quiet advantage. It is the calm of an emergency fund. The leverage of low fixed expenses. The freedom to change jobs without panic. The ability to weather economic headlines without flinching. When markets wobble and interest rates shift, the frugal household remains steady. Because their lifestyle is not built on maximum income, it is built on controlled outflow. Narration. The lucky country was never about blind abundance. It was about opportunity. In 2026, opportunity belongs to those who manage what they have with intelligence. Frugality is no longer reactive. It is strategic. It is proactive. It is empowering. This is not about scarcity. It is about sovereignty. And in modern Australia, sovereignty begins at home, one conscious decision at a time.